Get bold. You had all of these things to say. Oh, she's messing with his friend. She's doing this. She's doing that. Say it.
What if I told you that almost everything people believed about the Christie family, Doug, Jackie, even the rumors about Chris Webber, was built on a foundation that was never real to begin with? And what if I said the person who finally broke the silence wasn't a reporter, wasn't a friend, wasn't an enemy, but Doug Christie's own daughter, Chantel? This isn't a story based on internet gossip or random guesses. This is about a young woman who grew tired of being used as a piece in a story she didn't ask to be part of. A young woman who decided she wanted the truth, not the version her mother created and forced on everyone. And everything began the moment she walked into a small DNA clinic holding a simple white envelope that changed her entire life. Chantel didn't warn anyone. She didn't call Doug.
So I just want you to tell me, face to face, that it was the friend that I was with.
She didn't tell Jackie. She didn't send a heads up to Chris Webber. She didn't even speak to her closest friends. Instead, she quietly visited a private testing center without anyone knowing. She filled out the paperwork using a different name so nothing would get flagged or leaked. She kept everything to herself because she didn't want outside voices telling her what to believe anymore. She wanted answers based on science, not stories, not arguments, not pressure. For years, she had been given so many different explanations. First, she was told Doug was her father. She grew up with him, she lived under his roof, he gave her his name, and he raised her with love. But something in her heart never settled. Something always felt off, even though Doug treated her as if she truly belonged to him. Then came the whispers, the conversations behind closed doors, the timelines that didn't add up, the rumors about Chris Webber being her biological father.
I need to finish what I started.
Every time she tried to understand the truth, the story changed. One moment it was Doug, then suddenly it was Chris. Then paperwork surfaced that pointed in a new direction. And when a court later claimed Chris was a 99.9% match, Chantel still felt uneasy. Something told her the situation was deeper, more complicated, and far more misleading than anyone admitted. So she trusted her instincts. When those test results came back, everything she thought she knew collapsed. Doug Christie was not her biological father. Chris Webber wasn't the father either. Both men, both names she had heard for years, were completely removed with one test. And in that moment, every argument, every rumor, every public fight between Jackie and Doug, every scandal involving Chris Webber suddenly made sense. It wasn't confusion.
Doug, what do you say when people say your wife's around all the time? Why?
This is my best friend, my everything. We have other business ventures together. We do so much together. And also, we just enjoy being around each other. So I say, butt out and mind your own business.
It wasn't an accident. It was a cover-up. Someone had worked very hard to hide the identity of her real father. And the deeper investigators looked, the more they realized this wasn't a simple mix-up. It was intentional. Reports from people close to the situation revealed something shocking. Jackie Christie allegedly went to extreme lengths to make sure the truth never surfaced. There were altered birth records, missing hospital files, signatures that didn't match real hospital protocols, and suspicious paperwork changes that no one questioned at the time. Doug's name was placed on Chantel's birth certificate, but no official paternity test had ever been done. According to court records, Jackie allegedly paid $30,000 to a hospital administrator in 2003 to update the documents. That change erased the original father's name and inserted Doug's instead. Back then, no one thought twice because the Christie family looked perfect in public. But now the question became, why go through so much trouble unless the real father was someone Jackie wanted to hide at all costs? That answer came in the form of a name almost nobody had heard until the scandal exploded: Clarence Knox. Clarence wasn't a player. He wasn't a coach. He wasn't famous. He worked as a team trainer for the Sacramento Monarchs. Before Doug, before Chris Webber, before the drama, Jackie and Clarence allegedly had a serious relationship. People close to them say Jackie became pregnant during that time. But when their romance ended, Clarence's connection to Jackie seemed to disappear overnight. His name vanished from all public documents. He was quietly fired from the team. He disappeared from the league entirely. No one knew why. No one had answers. Clarence became a ghost. But when Chantel's DNA test created a new match connected to sealed court files, Clarence's name resurfaced, this time as her confirmed biological father. And that wasn't all. Investigators discovered that his name appeared in a sealed testimony Jackie gave years ago, a testimony that mysteriously vanished from the court archives shortly afterward. Not misplaced, not moved, completely gone. Someone had buried it. Then the story took its most surprising turn. After years in silence, Clarence Knox stepped forward. Not long after the DNA results leaked, Clarence held a small, unplanned press conference at a community center. He walked onto the stage nervous, shaking a little, looking like a man who had carried a heavy truth on his back for far too long. He wasn't looking for fame. He wasn't chasing cameras. He simply wanted to speak. And when he opened his mouth, every person in that room felt the weight of his words. He said, "I didn't know I had a daughter. I wasn't given that choice. Jackie made sure I never knew. But now that the truth is out, if she wants me in her life, I'm here. I want to be her father." For one moment, the entire room froze. Then reporters exploded with questions. Cameras flashed nonstop, and the internet lit up instantly. But Clarence didn't stay for drama. He gave his statement and walked away. Across town, Doug Christie was having one of the hardest days of his life. For years, Doug had stood by Jackie, publicly and privately. He supported her, defended her, and helped raise Chantel with everything he had. He thought he knew the truth. He thought he was doing the right thing. But now, he realized he had been used. 2 days after Clarence's announcement, Doug quietly went to the county courthouse. He didn't file a lawsuit. He didn't argue. He didn't plead. He simply withdrew all legal parental rights. It was his way of stepping out of a situation full of lies and pain. Later that night, Doug posted a short message on Instagram. When the truth hurts more than the lie, that's when you know how deep the betrayal goes. It stayed online for a single day, then disappeared, just like Doug himself, who has since stepped away from the public and is trying to rebuild his peace. Now let's talk about Chris Webber. The DNA test cleared him, but his involvement didn't end. After the scandal erupted, financial records surfaced. Over the last 10 years, Chris had sent over $800,000 to a shell company tied to Jackie's personal business. There was no public reason for these payments, no explanation, no connection between them that required money. Then came the leaked voicemail from 2019. In the recording, Chris's voice says, "Jackie, I did what you asked. I stayed quiet. I paid what you wanted. Don't make me regret this." That recording raised serious questions. Why would Chris pay anything if he wasn't the father? Was he manipulated with false DNA results years ago? Was he pressured into silence to protect Jackie's image? Legal experts believe Chris may have been targeted and threatened with fake paternity claims to force him into paying. If that is true, Chris Webber could have a strong extortion case. Meanwhile, the courtroom chaos exploded. Jackie's world began collapsing the moment investigators announced that several documents related to Chantel's birth were forged. Hospital logs were altered, signatures were fake, paternity records were tampered with. That same $30,000 payment resurfaced, exposing exactly how the birth certificate had been illegally changed to hide Clarence's name. Jackie now faces serious legal charges, including fraud, obstruction of justice, and falsifying medical documents. Prosecutors say the entire scandal was a scheme to rewrite history and protect her reputation. Jackie's lawyers have been scrambling to delay hearings, hide certain files, and negotiate, but the judge wasn't having it. A full investigation into her financial dealings and hospital interactions has been ordered. Then came the moment that shocked everyone, Chantel taking the stand. She walked in steady but emotional. She looked directly at Jackie and said, "You may have raised me, but you were never my mother. You controlled me. You used me. You treated me like a project, not a child." The courtroom went silent. Even the judge stopped speaking. Jackie lost control and started screaming, forcing security to intervene. After testifying, Chantel legally filed to remove the Christie last name. She moved in with Clarence to rebuild her life and began therapy to heal from the years of manipulation. Doug has stayed silent. Chris Webber's team is preparing a major lawsuit. He wants every dollar back, and he may seek criminal charges. Jackie, on the other hand, is trying to spin the story. Word is she already signed a book deal and wants a documentary series, but the court may freeze all profits until the legal battle is over. And just when people thought the situation couldn't get any worse, a leaked audio recording surfaced, allegedly featuring Jackie and an unknown man planning how to make Clarence disappear from the story and hide the DNA truth. The FBI is now involved. Insiders are even saying this entire situation may expose other reality stars, former players, and hidden paternity stories that were buried over the years. And Chantel? She's preparing her own documentary with unseen text messages, recordings, and court files. Her version, the real version, told without fear. This story is still unfolding, and the truth is louder than ever. Drop your thoughts below, hit like, share, and subscribe, and stay tuned for the next shocking update.